There we go. Tied at 10, not anymore. This time, Ratified is down. Here in double O2. We'll go at it again inside. Tampa Bay Gators are going to crash hole 19.
Time is happening in the tournament since 2000.
Welcome, CDL fans, to our April 20th edition of CDL Live, and for a certain viewing demographic, happy holidays. Let's put it that way, happy holiday. It's a special day for a certain demographic, if you know what I mean. But anyhow, the 420 game day here in the Car Demolition League, and getting ready here to see the Boston Vandals. These Boston Vandals. Amazing what I can do with a green marker, white t-shirt, and a little bit of time. But needless to say, the Boston Vandals, you're about to see them go head-to-head against the Minnesota Maniacs as our opening feature event. And no D-League games to run through, so pretty much going to get right down to it. Minnesota Maniacs, Boston Vandals. Let's get down to the field. Welcome, CDL fans, down to the field. Our first game here on this April 20th game day is about to happen. No Development League games taking place, which I'm sure I already told you, but on to this first matchup. We've got the Boston Vandals on the road against the Minnesota Maniacs. No pro team with a bye today. Cross-conference games across the board. Boston with a record of 16-8-0-1. That has them sitting currently at, let's see here, 4th place in the Eastern Conference with 49 points. So Boston trying to hang on to that spot. New York only a point behind them, and Gowanda only 3 points behind them, or a game behind. So Boston with a reason to want to play, no doubt about that. But Minnesota also has their reasons. Despite having a record of 10-12-0-2, which puts them at 32 points, and sitting at 18th place in the Western Conference, Minnesota, despite all this, only 12 points or 4 games out of a playoff spot. How tight is the Western Conference? Just that tight that basically right now, and you figure the last place team in the West is only 2 games behind them. So put it all in perspective that only 6 games separates last place from a playoff spot out in the Western Conference right now. So Minnesota, every reason to want to put a little check mark in the win column today for that sole reason, if any. So let's get ready for it here. Let's get a look at the lineups of both sides. Boston Vandals, Minnesota Maniacs.
It's John Cena, baby, and we heating up the bean pot. Big up Boston, you know the whole team hot. Yo, we fresh, y'all a little bit stale, and we about to make it ugly just like by accident. There's only a select few that can handle this freak shit. Apparition of a poltergeist, blessed with a heart, but it's cold as ice. It's broken twice. Now I walk with an axe, dressed in all jet black with contacts, straight maniac.
And folks, we are ready. We've got the Boston Vandals sending out Blue Dragon 2 first, and out there first for the Minnesota Maniacs it is Green 7. So here we go. Game on, interference off of that one. Could have added maybe a bad roll to that call, but needless to say, both cars still up through this whole crazy progress. We continue our match. And we've got a pair of flips here. Both Green 7 and Blue Dragon 2 are down, and we've got a tie game. It's 5-5. They'll bring out Nitro for the Boston Vandals, and out there to meet him will be Red Racer from the Minnesota Maniacs side. And Red Racer, fumbling, wumbling, stumbling, he goes down. So Nitro with the good flip, 10-5, Boston in the lead. And it brings out Black Spinebuster for the Minnesota Maniacs. He needs to be good defensively today, and what a move there, able to stay up somehow. And that time, not going to happen the same way around. So Black Spinebuster down. And this one, I guess moved pretty quickly, actually. A 2-0 day for Nitro. Good work by him. His offense just doing very well in this matchup. 15-5 the final score. The Boston Vandals getting the win over the Minnesota Maniacs. So Boston going to be able to hang on to that 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. As for Minnesota, there's a chance that they could end up in 20th place at the end of this game day, assuming Denver and Seattle could get a win. So for Minnesota, definitely a tough loss to take. And especially since this is the game day that is putting us 2/3 of the way through the regular season. So after this point, one can only assume that we are going to start seeing teams get knocked out of playoff position to where they can't make the playoffs, or knocked out of the race. Or we're going to see teams clinching spots in the race. So definitely at a landmark moment here in the 2016 season, with this being the 2/3 of the way over mark. So big moments, I guess you could say, big gains, all from here on out. So a very tough loss, a tough toss, yeah, but a very tough loss for the Minnesota Maniacs to take. That being said, looking ahead to what both these teams got coming up on their next game day, Boston, a good win, 17-8-0-1. The next game day that happens, it's another cross-conference game day. Only the East will have the home side of the field. Boston be no exception to that. Home against the defending world champion Los Angeles Blades on the April 22nd game day. That's how they'll head into their last third of the regular season. As for the Minnesota Maniacs, they will find themselves on the visitor side of the field against the Pittsburgh Destroyers on the April 22nd game day. Coming up next year on this April 20th edition of CDL Live should be a great cross-conference battle. And at one time, these two teams were in the Eastern Conference. As a matter of fact, they were two of the first teams in the Eastern Conference, two of the CDL's original 6, the New York Empire and the Chicago Wind Attack. Chicago will have home field. That, of course, coming up after our first set of highlights. So let's take you around the league. Back to the curtain. So the Boston Vandals doing their thing, getting the win, 15-5, the final score. So we move on now. We are going to have the mid-feature coming up in a little bit. But first, let's go around the league a little bit, see our first half of the highlights. Let's go on and take a look. So we lead off our 420 game day highlights with the Detroit Devils and the New Mexico Monsters, and off-screen, well, almost off-screen, X-Wing able to stay up and then get the flip on Black Dragon, so that would bring out Cloud Cutter for the Detroit side. 5-0 game, New Mexico in the lead, and Cloud Cutter getting a good chance there, and this time Cloud Cutter staying up way off-screen, able to get the flip on X-Wing, tying things up at 5. That time an interference right there. Pretty hectic, but Governor 2 is down right there, so Cloud Cutter on a roll now, looking for the win as he took on Futurama. But Futurama off screen this time, staying up, and we have a 10-10 game. So Futurama 1-0, now going out there against Padawan from the Detroit captain spot. Game tied at 10, and a good move by Futurama. Yes, roll that beautiful beam footage, able to tip his way back up, and then follow that up with a beautiful flip right there. So we had a 15-10 game. Now Black 3 trying to force overtime for the Detroit Devils. Not meant to be. No OT for you. No soup for you. No nothing. A 3-0 day for Futurama. He takes everything. 15-10, the final score. The New Mexico Monsters getting the win over the Detroit Devils. Moving on along with this cross-conference game day, the struggling Puerto Rico players have only won 1 out of their last 9 games here. And up early, though. Black Star getting the flip on F3, but getting taken down right here against Black Bullet 1. And a beautiful move by Black Bullet 1 in doing so. Take a look at this in slow motion. Do a break dance right there. Able to stay in the game. Tie it up at 5 as a matter of fact, as he now took on Green Blaze Jr. and set him right down. So now against Black Lena, Black Bullet 1 looking for the win. And some extreme collision right here. My goodness, Black Lena still staying up though. The bottom of his car still in contact with the field, so a timeout by Puerto Rico. They would do some repairs on Black Lena, send him out back into the game, where yes, Black Bullet 1 was waiting for him, and after just a few collisions, it would be over with. A good day for Black Bullet 1. He goes 3-0 from the middleman spot, and the Shinobis have the win 15-5 over the Puerto Rico players, who have, well, now they've only won 1 out of their last 10 games, as a matter of fact. So a tough streak going on for the players. So we move along. The Atlanta Avengers, last place in the East, taking on the Seattle Lumberjacks here as they would go at it. Interference right there between Dark Knight and Buzzoff. The battle continuing between these two. A great match to start off the game, but Buzzoff getting the flip there now takes on Clown, and Clown would offer a little bit of a challenge, but Buzzoff up to the task. Starts his day 2-0. So now Buzzoff out there looking for the win against Black Marinello, and he comes close right here off of my knee interference. As we get another look there, you see the contact with my knee that was made by Buzzoff, saving Black Marinello, but that time making up for it, getting the quick flip afterwards, and it's a good win, a good shutout. Serves donuts for dinner. Buzzoff going 3-0. The Lumberjacks defeat the Avengers 15-0. So we move on to a matchup between the Milwaukee Mob and the New Orleans Gladiators, both trying to legitimize their playoff race, I guess you want to call it that. But Elite putting up a good fight here against Hot Tub Jr., but Hot Tub Jr. getting the flip on them, kind of a surprising one there. And then so quickly, kind of, out here against Golden Rat, gets the flip there. A 2-0 start for Hot Tub Jr. I don't think we've said that much this season. Hot Tub Jr. and Tigre now going at it, and these two would have a pretty decent battle. Tigre so good defensively, able to hang in the fight a couple of times, and then has the flip, making it 10-5. So the Gladiators fighting back, and Tigre would take on Monty Jr., and these two would have an epic matchup. Look at that interference right there. Tigre was sent into the Milwaukee side, and this time Tigre able to stay up. Good defense and had the flip right there, but an interference, oh, saves Monty Jr. Monty Jr. gonna make him pay. So close to an interference here as we get another look in slow motion. Tigre not making contact with Cartman, and the game was over. So close to staying alive right there, but Monty Jr. making Tigre pay for saving him. 15-5 the final score. Milwaukee Mob getting the win over the New Orleans Gladiators. Good teamwork day. 2-1 day for Hot Tub Jr. And of course, the 1-0 game-winning day for Monty Jr. So we move on. Jacksonville Bangums and the San Diego Lightning, and Testarossa was hot today, as we are going to see him do battle with the rookie Hot Goat, and Hot Goat would be down out there now against Sturdy Snow. What a move by Testarossa there, doing a barrel roll and then following that up with a good flip. So now takes on Teardrop, and Teardrop having some struggles here. Goes down right there. Couldn't barrel roll his way back up. Common maneuver used by defensive cars. Like I said, Testarossa on point. Goes 3-0 today. Serves donuts for dinner. 15-0. The Bangums get the win over the Lightning. Moving along to a matchup between the Hartford Homies and the St. Louis Twisters. Redemption out there leading the way against Silver Indy. Good little battle between these two, and Redemption would have the flip. 5-0 Hartford in the lead, but Rowdy now out there sending Redemption off screen. He was down. So Rowdy tying the game up at 5. Now we'll go head-to-head with 46 Jr. Two identical models. Yeah, you could reenact the movie Days of Thunder with these two. They are from the movie, yes, those cars. But 46 Jr. getting the flip. Cole Trickle. Anyways, now out there against Iridium. Iridium making some good dance moves happen here, but still a smash mouth car. 46 Jr. getting the job done and the win. Just taking down Iridium rather easily, and well, having good opportunities and then capping it off with the flip. So a good 2-0 day for 46 Jr. Hartford Homies get the win. 15-5 the final score. So moving on along, the Miami Mafia on the road against the favored San Jose Storm, Neon and Wasp to start this game off. Some good collisions between the two. And as we see here, the offense of Neon prevailing in the end. 5-0 Miami out there against Phantom now, and Phantom would have a flip, tying the game up at 5, but Phantom quickly taken down by Monkey, and then Monkey able to make a tie happen here with Solid Snake. So a 1-0-1 day for Monkey gives his buddy here, Aqua Chevelle, the chance for the win, up 15-10 here against Charizard. Charizard from the 5-point gainer spot, trying to force overtime here. Of course, the score 15-10. Aquashfell putting on some good moves, as did Charizard. Good battle between these two. It went on for a while, just very entertaining stuff, but in the end, Charizard able to get the flip and send this game into OT, where the Storm have been perfect so far this season, but having to take on Mach 6 now. A good 5-point gainer, lightweight defensive car. Had a chance there. Charizard stayed up. Good spin maneuver right there. And yet again, Mach 6 showing some great spin maneuver, staying stable, and this time around has a flip on Charizard. A good day for the Miami Mafia, and they pull off the upset 20-15 in overtime. The San Jose Storm trying to hang on to a playoff spot, and that is a tough loss to take. Definitely some teams with opportunities to get past them or whatnot, especially Nevada. Nevada has a chance to maybe expand that lead on San Jose now for the 7th seed. So we move along to a game that was entertaining but quick. Don't blink, you might miss something. San Antonio Kings and the Pittsburgh Destroyers off of one of the very first collisions. Black Testarossa 2 was down, as well as WA-17, then an interference there. But Motorblade Jr. would succumb to Zebra. Zebra looking to put the game away. He got taken down by RPG. Now against Blue BMW, both cars are down, and yes, that quick we headed into overtime. Epic Fast, the rookie out there for the Pittsburgh Destroyers. Sweet 16 out there for San Antonio. Both cars looking for the win. They will both go down right away. 15-15 the final score. As close as you can get it. A tie game between the Destroyers and the Western Conference's last place team, the San Antonio Kings. But quick game, but an entertaining one. So we move on along. And we end our first set of highlights with the Philadelphia Demons and the Denver Mustangs. Demons trying to hang on to first place in the league and off to a good start against Purple Custo. Pink Indy had the flip, now taking on 24 hours, and 24 hours been hot for Denver lately and tied the game up, but Silver Molina gonna just end up being too much for him. So giving the Demons the lead, and then out came Red Detta. And folks, yes, Red Detta on point, tying the game up right away at 10 apiece, and now out against Green Demon, and the rookie Green Demon down just like that today. And look at this move. Red Detta out there trying to get the win against Hawkeye, and Hawkeye gets this chance to force overtime, and Red Detta up to the task, staying up, and this time way off screen has a flip on Hawkeye. Upset complete. A 3-0 day. A 3-0 day for Red Detta against the Philadelphia Demons. Yes, Denver Mustangs fans, your future is looking bright with this team, no doubt about it. 15-10 the final score. The Denver Mustangs defeating the team that is actually currently first place in the league, but with Philly losing, that does give the Blades a chance to take first place with a win. So we are back from that first little highlight reel there, and we move on along to a matchup between two of the CDL's original 6 teams, the New York Empire, on the road to take on the Chicago Wind Attack. Chicago, so much defense on their squad with Synchro, along with Highlight and R, going up against the franchise, Black Bullet 2. He might be required to step up today for sure. We'll see if he'll be able to. Empire and Wind Attack. Let's get down to the field.
This is game time, and it's game time, and the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defined.
And welcome back down to the field here on CDL Live, folks. Our next game about to take place. It should be a great matchup here. We got the New York Empire on the road against the Chicago Wind Attack. New York has a record of 14 wins, 7 losses, 3 ties, and no overtime losses. 14-7-3-0. Forget the 17 part, but anyways, Chicago Wind Attack, 18 wins and 6 losses, no ties or OT losses to speak of. Chicago currently at the top of the Central Division in the Western Conference, just 2 points ahead of the Nashville Nighthawks, trying to hang on to the lead in their division, and also they are the number 2 seed in the West. And if LA takes an upset the way Philadelphia did with the win and a Los Angeles loss, the Wind Attack could very possibly end up at the very top of the Western Conference, as a matter of fact, top spot in the league by the end of this game day. Again, with the win and the Blades loss. Important to note those two things. That being said, the New York Empire, 48 points on their season. They currently sit at 5th place in the Eastern Conference, and they're looking to close the gap between them and the Philadelphia Demons here. So they are currently 2nd place in the Northeast Division, or my mistake, 3rd place in the Northeast Division, behind Boston and Philadelphia. And yeah, well, words really fast. Anyhow, as we carry on here on this 420 edition of CDL Live. So definitely 2 very good teams about to go head-to-head. Possible Crash Bowl prediction, folks. Could happen. Could see New York and Chicago. And needless to say, 2 of the original 6 of the CDL. That being said, let's get a look at the lineups for both sides. Empire, Wind Attack.
Empty and May got you feeling like a champion. The city never sleeps, better slip you an ambient.
We are ready for both sides. Challenge leads the way for the New York Empire. Blue Dragon leads the way for the Chicago Wind Attack, and Blue Dragon is down 5-0 New York. And now for Chicago, that will bring out R and Challenge. Challenge played good this season, and Challenge is a flip right there. 10-0 Empire in the lead. That now brings out Highlight for the Chicago Wind Attack. Highlight able to stay up there. They definitely need him to step up today. 10-0 deficit, which I did not see coming, but Challenge down there, and Highlight keeps the Wind Attack in the game with that flip, and now goes out there against Enzo 1 of the Empire. And that time an interference, so they'll go back to their own size. Both cars still up to the whole process of that. Going at it again, another interference. This one does save Highlight. Should say he saved himself, keeping Chicago in the game, and now tying the game up. Enzo 1 down, we are tied at 10. So the Wind Attack fighting back. And that now brings out the franchise, Black Bullet 2 for the New York Empire. And he'll immediately give the Empire the lead. 15-10 the score, New York on top, but Synchro now out there for Chicago looking to force overtime. Synchro kind of maybe, I thought he had a weight advantage, but needless to say, if he does, it ain't much of one. These 2 relatively evenly matched weight-wise. It just comes down to whose defense can be better today, and they both have shown great defensive skills in the past. Both Black Bullet 2 and Synchro. I was about to say Silver and Black Attack, but no. But Synchro and Black Bullet 2 both have shown some great defense in the past, showing great defense right now. So keep their own sides of the field. Keep going at it. Battle continuing on between these 2. Still a 15-10 game. Synchro trying to force overtime. Black Bullet 2 going for the win. Almost had it right there. Do a barrel roll. Somehow Synchro able to stay up, and the fight continues here on CDL Live. And a good spin cycle maneuver there as both cars keep going at it. 15-10 score. New York in the lead, trying to make it the final, and they do. 15-10 the final. The New York Empire able to get the win over the Chicago Wind Attack, and what a game that ends up coming down to the wire. Despite the beginning of this game, it was not looking like it would be close. Highlight has a good game himself though, making the comeback possible, but in the end, Black Bullet 2 goes 2-0, gets the job done. Empire getting the win over the Wind Attack, 15-10 the final score. So for the New York Empire, they will fall now to a record of 14-8, or my mistake, they'll go to a record, they'll go up to a record of 15-7, 3-0. Chicago will fall to 18-7. So a tough loss for Chicago, but nonetheless, good win for the Empire. Tough game and a great game that we have just seen take place. Only one more game that fully needs to be covered on CDL Live, of course, our main event, the Green Bay Dragons on the road against the Roswell Aliens. But that being said, take a look at who these 2 teams got next. The Chicago Wind Attack, their next game day, they will be on the road against the Bradford Brawlers. The New York Empire looking to ride the momentum of this win when they take on the San Jose Storm on that 4/22 game day. So, but yes, Green Bay 12-9-0-3, Roswell 13-6-3-2, and the two teams go head-to-head next on this 420 edition of CDL Live. But first, the highlights, so let's get back to that curtain. So the franchise comes through in the clutch, and the New York Empire getting the win, 15-10 the final there. Only one more game that's going to be totally live here, I guess you could kind of say. As live as we can get it. But the Green Bay Dragons and the Roswell Aliens as our main event. But before that, let's take you around the rest of the league, get a look at the remaining highlights from this April 20th game day. And we start off the second half of our highlights. Carolina Wildcats and the Nevada Thunder. Carolina had Dragon Jr. leading the way for them today, out there battling with White Indy from the Nevada side, and got a flip on him, a pretty looking flip too. And now out there against Yellow Spider, has a flip on him as well. 10-0 score. Now out there against Hornet. Hornet trying to keep Nevada alive and playing like it. See a great defensive move right here, able to stay up, but come again, and both cars are down. So Hornet getting the flip, but ends up going down himself in the end. So a 15-5. I guess you could call it an upset. A tough loss for Nevada to take. They, of course, had 1 point advantage on San Jose. Now, with the Storm losing in overtime, they got up to 46 points. And because they have more wins than the Thunder, actually moved past the Thunder for 7th place. A 2-0-1 day for Dragon Jr. Carolina getting the 15-5 win. So we move on along. Buffalo Warriors going up against the Indianapolis Reapers. Green Blaze starting the game for the Warriors, and for the Reapers it was Gold Z 28, and this was an entertaining battle between these two. Good defensive maneuver by Gold Z 28, do a barrel roll, able to stay up. Battle moving on, a good barrel roll by Green Blaze Jr., then follows it up with this pretty move, able to somehow stay up that time. And this was like a big dance at these two. It's like a dance-off. You know, just waiting to see who gets served, basically, as these two went head-to-head. And this time, Gold Z28 would get the flip. And then another flip against Tyrell here. So 10-0 Reapers in the lead. And now what? Trying to keep Buffalo alive. Having to pull out all the tricks out of the book right there. Able to do a little breakdance move and stay up. Keeping the fight here. But Gold Z28 not to be denied. Does a barrel roll while doing the flip right there. 15-0 the final score. Indianapolis Reapers laying the SmackDown shutout over the Buffalo Warriors. Wasn't an easy trip to the bakery, but donuts served for dinner. 3-0 day for Gold Z28. Reapers get the win. And now the father-son matchup. Matt Geiser's Phoenix Firebirds taking on his son's team, the Bradford Brawlers. Escalade leading the way for the Brawlers, and Green Arrow leading the way for the Phoenix Firebirds. And boy, oh boy, bring back some memories here of old school CDL back to 2005, 2006. But Green Arrow and Escalade putting on a show, and Green Arrow would eventually get the flip and then quickly works his magic against Uncle Sam. Now out here against Spinebuster, goes way off screen, able to stay up, and then Green Arrow able to put the game away right there. Matt Geiser's Phoenix Firebirds coming out on top dominantly today. A 3-0 day for Green Arrow, getting a shutout. 15-0 they defeat the Bradford Brawlers. This game now a little bit closer than the last couple we've seen. Cleveland Wolves and the Dallas Lone Stars, and Watts up getting the quick flip on Junk in the Trunk. 5-0 Dallas, but that brought out Aqua Ferrari. He was on point today. He had a flip off screen there, and then was able to get a tie collision. Not this time, but right here with Gray Indy. So a 10-10 game, a 1-0-1 day for Aqua Ferrari, and it gave Bully Goat a chance, and he would take it. Takes down Reptile quickly out there against Purple 300 ZX, who had a chance right there. An interference saving Bully Goat that time, and then Bully Goat making him pay. Close to an interference yet again there, but Purple 300 ZX was down, and down cleanly. A 2-0 day for Bully Goat. Good teamwork. Aqua Ferrari going 1-0-1, and then Bully Goat going 2-0 to seal the deal. 15-10, Wolves get the win over the Lone Stars. And this one could be just as entertaining. New Jersey Bandits and the Nashville Nighthawks starting this game off. It was No Fear out there against Kid Custom, and Kid Custom was down off screen. Now out there against Pink Lamborghini and sat him down. So No Fear has the 2-0 start. Now taking on Power Pistons, the #1 overall pick of this past year's draft, the rookie. Putting up a good fight here, as is No Fear. Both these cars putting just a good show on, and this time off screen. No Fear would be down, so tied, or not tied, 10-5, and almost tied right there. Power Pistons nearly getting the flip on Orange Chevelle, but through a barrel roll, able to stay in the game. Power Pistons and Orange Chevelle, the battle would continue, and they would both be down, so 15-10. Nashville in the lead, but 686 out here against Extinguish. The unflippable one goes down right there, so 686, forcing overtime for the Bandits, where he would go head-to-head with Nashville's Kodak, who's been very effective from the 5-point gainer spot, and just a couple of collisions in, it would be yet another Kodak moment. Yeah, I know, you like that one? Yeah, 20-15 in overtime. Kodak getting the job done at the end when he had to. Nashville Nighthawks hanging on to get the win over the New Jersey Bandits. As a matter of fact, we have a chance. Actually, they did move past the Chicago Wind Attack. They did move past them. Chicago lost to New York, so Nashville now first place in the Central Division. So we move on with the matchup between the Dayton Rebels and the Houston Oilers. Zapper out there for the Rebels against Nickel and Diamond from the Houston side, and he'd have a flip on Nickel and Diamond there. Now going up against White Ferrari. 5-0 Dayton in the lead, and White Ferrari brought his A game today. A nice barrel roll maneuver, and then got the flip on Zapper. Now out here against Sub-Zero, almost going down, able to stay up and force a tie with them. That would bring out Toe for the Dayton Rebels. And Toe getting the job done. So 15-10 now, Dayton in the lead, but Hot Wheel Vet would provide a challenge for Toe. A couple of opportunities, interference there, and right there, a good maneuver by Toe, able to stay up as we see again. Mama put him in a K-pop video. Toe so good defensively, even though he's a lightweight. This time he was down, but an interference as we get a closer look. Yes, he is touching up there, and then not just that, but a little bit later here, able to survive and get the flip. So no overtime forced by the Oilers today. Toe just too strong, getting the job done. Goes 2-0 from the captain spot. And the Dayton Rebels are a dangerous team when this car's at his best, no doubt about it. 15-10, the Rebels get the win over the Oilers. So now we get a battle between two teams fighting for a division title. Tampa Bay Gators, Portland Panthers ratified the car to look out for today because he was working quick. Took down Purple Fire right away. Now out here against Monty. It was a little bit longer of a battle than what I'm going to show, but he took Monty down pretty quick too. And who down on the first collision there. My goodness, just unbelievable stuff. Ratified, able to go 3-0. An easy jog to the bakery. He serves donuts for dinner. Great game there, going 3-0. 15-0, the Gators getting the win over the Panthers. So the Shinobi's going to move back ahead of Portland for second place in the Pacific. And they just hope that LA doesn't pull away in their matchup against Washington. Well, that's exactly what Tampa Bay hopes for. But 15-0 Gators win. But moving on now to the Gwanda Outlaws and the Idaho Cowboys. Pretty fun matchup between these two, as we saw Lamborghini. His opening battle against 42nd here was pretty fun to see, but 42nd getting the upper hand. 5-0 it was Idaho in the lead, but Hammer, the good heavy car, doing what he does best. Able to get flips there. 5-5 the score, but MX Dragster came out. He was on point today. He got pushed around a little bit by Hammer, as you see right there, but able to hang on and get the flip. 10-5 Idaho in the lead. Now out there against Sonic Boom, who stayed up the first time and a second time. What a move here by Sonic Boom. You like lightweight defense? I love lightweight defense. Let's see that again. Yes. Amazing stuff, but MX Dragster would not be denied, as you will see right here. Getting the flip on Sonic Boom. Has himself a 2-0 game day. And a great win right there for Idaho. 15-5 the final. They defeat the Gowanda Outlaws. And we end our highlight reel with these two teams. Washington Patriots, Los Angeles Blades, Landlord getting taken down by Pink Indy Jr. right away. 5-0 Blades, but quickly the game was tied.
5-5 by Red Ferrari Jr. Now out there against Greelina, both cars down, so a 1-0-1 day for Red Ferrari Jr. It's a big game for both of these teams. I'll explain at the end. Ratitude out there now against Far Future, both cars from the captain spot. Game tied at 10, and these two would have a nice little fight right here, as we will see. Both cars staying rather stable, but in the end, Far Future, too much for him. 10-5 LA, or 15-10 LA, and make that the final 15-10 LA, as the final Black Phantom getting taken right down. So why was this big? LA extending their lead over the Pacific Division. And not only that, because the Demons lost, the Blades are now the official first place team in the league. They stand alone. And not only that, with Washington losing, that gives Tampa Bay first place in the Southeast. Well, folks, back from that second highlight reel, and we are just about ready for our main event in a big game for both sides here on this cross-conference game day. Green Bay Dragons on the road against the Roswell Aliens. Of course, now the Roswell Aliens, with New Orleans taking a loss as they did today, the Aliens have the chance to spread that lead that they have on the Southern Division. The Green Bay Dragons, on the other hand, sit 10th place. Sitting in 10th place right now in the Eastern Conference. 39 points to their credit coming into this game day, and trying to take advantage of that and get a big win here that would help their playoff race hopes. That being said, after this game is over, 2/3 of the season is done, folks. Heading into these last 13 game days of a 39 game day regular season. So crucial stuff from this point on, pretty much. Let's get down to the field for what should be an intense matchup. Green Bay Dragons, Roswell Aliens.
This is game time and it's game time. Let the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defied.
And we are on the field, CDL fans, for our main event of this April 20th game day. We've got the Green Bay Dragons on the road ready to take on the Roswell Aliens. Roswell with a record of 13 wins, 6 losses, 3 ties, and 2 overtime losses. Green Bay Dragons, they come to this game day with a record of 12 wins, 9 losses, no ties, and 3 overtime losses. And fortune has been bestowed upon Green Bay to possibly get into a playoff spot. Tampa Bay was in the 9th seeded spot, but because they've taken the lead in the Southeast Division, that now puts Washington and Buffalo tied at 41 points at that 8th seed spot. Well, Green Bay with 39 points on the road with a win could get up to 42 points, could put them into a playoff position. As for the Roswell Aliens, they had every reason to want to play in their own right, even though New Orleans did take a loss and, Phoenix did get a win. So their lead in the Southern Division is safe, but they are trying to widen the gap that they have over New Orleans. 47 points to their credit. They are current 3rd place in the Western Conference right now, the Roswell Aliens are, and as I said, Green Bay came to this game day 10th in the Eastern Conference, so definitely in the playoff hunt. So big game for both sides. Green Bay kind of been a downward slope as of recent, but looking to pick that up today, and the Aliens trying to keep all their good mojo going. That being said, let's get a look at the lineups for both sides, Dragons and Aliens. So the two front runners on the field, that is Shell leading the way for the Dragons. F1 racer out there first for the Roswell Aliens. Game on. I saw an interference off that one, even though both cars were still up in the process. But Shell was trying to take a little trip there. Gone any further, he wouldn't need the passport. So they'll go at it yet again from their own sides, and close to an interference there. And I saw him make contact, and I'm going to call it an interference. So back to their own sides, they'll go at it yet again. Both cars staying up. Now switching sides officially, and they are both out of the game. So we get a 5-5 game just like that, and we move on along. Inquisitor out there from the Green Bay Dragons middleman spot. He's a rookie out there against Dragonfly from the Roswell Aliens side. The same position, middleman spot. Both cars staying up, going at it yet again. Both cars again able to stay up, switching sides now. And Dragonfly known for his defensive capabilities, and he's taken down there though by Inquisitor, who gives Green Bay a 10-5 lead, and now looking for the win. Spectite now out there for Roswell. And Spectite immediately tying this game up at 10 apiece. That'll bring out Toy Soldier for the Green Bay Dragons. 15-10 the score. They look for the right grip points, and these two getting some good collisions in. Both cars able to stay up. It is very close here, and I am going to say they will switch sides. And Toy Soldier now on the home side of the field, whether he wants to be there or not. And now he is taken down on a great shot there. So Spectite able to get the lead for the Aliens. 15-10, that brings out Rocket Oil for the Dragons. From their 5-point gainer spot, almost had a flip there. Switching sides now, and this time Rocket Oil up to the task. Going airborne, staying in it, and this time Rocket Oil is down. Clean collision there, might have been off screen, but nonetheless. 15-10 the final score in our main event here. The Roswell Aliens find a way to get a win over the Green Bay Dragons. So at the end of the day, the East and West went head-to-head 21 times, and they beat each other 10 times each with a tie in there. So a lot closer game day between East and Western Conference, and it's going to be that way on the next game day. It's another cross-conference game day. But the East will have home side of the field. That being said, getting a look at where these teams are now. The Green Bay Dragons, with that loss, fall to 12-10, 0-3. They stay at 47 points, or my mistake, at 41 points, or 39 points. I can get it right. Green Bay staying at 39 points, so they will remain in 10th place in the Eastern Conference. Tough loss for the Dragons to take. The Roswell Aliens, they improved to 14-6, 3-2, and the Aliens, with that win, they will go up to 50 points. They now have a 6-point lead over the second place team in their division, and are remaining right there in the hunt as one of the premier top teams in the league, no doubt about it. Next game day coming up for both these teams. The Green Bay Dragons will be on the home side of the field against the Nashville Nighthawks. As for the Roswell Aliens, they will find themselves on the visitor side of the field going head-to-head with the Washington Patriots on the April 22nd game day. April 22nd edition of CDL Live, leading the whole thing off, the Miami Mafia, making their first appearance after their basic upset over, yeah, Miku, I see you over there. But the Miami Mafia making their first appearance on CDL Live as far as actually being in a featured event. They will lead off things home against the New Orleans Gladiators, and they gotta have a little bit of motivation after beating San Jose. Then, following that, our middle feature, the Portland Panthers, coming off a tough loss to Tampa Bay, and they are on the road against another team taking a tough loss here today, the Philadelphia Demons. So Philly and Portland on our 4/22 game day. And then our main event, the old Perry Street rivalry, Dale Bray Miller's old Nevada Thunder against John Good's old Gowanda Outlaws. The first two owners, well, that ever came into the CDL, their teams going head-to-head on the April 22nd main event on CDL Live. Plus a whole bunch of other great games that will be going on. But that being said, folks, James Hulse here, owner and creator of the Car Demolition League, thanking you for watching. Until next time, take care of yourselves, be yourselves, and peace.
I love LA. California, yes, still applies to me. Everybody got something to say.